guys, so today I'm going to do a removal to the nails that I've had on for a few fills. This was a sculpted set that I did with the pastel collection, and I'm going to go ahead and clip them down first. That flew. What I like to do is go ahead and file all the top coat off, any rhinestones, bling art, and then instead of filing them down super thin, I like to first cut them off with clippers. And usually if you just tap right into the stress point, they will all come off like that. Then what I like to go ahead and do is I like to go ahead and get a pretty coarse bit. I'm going to use the Valentino E-file as well as my coarse bit. And I'm just going to file them down, you know, as thin as possible. It's gonna get a little loud because I'm gonna turn on my dust collector. But I like to file them down pretty thin, and I'm just using a coarse bit, getting the bulk of the product off of the nail bed. And like those pieces of these bigger pieces, of course it's not going to suction in, but basically it eliminates more than half of your dust that you would typically have versus not having a dust collector at all. So then I'm just gonna go ahead and use my 100% pure acetone, and I just like to put it in a small dampened dish instead of a big bowl, because basically I'm just going to put my fingertips in. Alright guys, so when you remove it from the acetone, it should look something like this, very gummy. You can get a pusher or any tool that you have that can go ahead and scrape the excess kind of soft acrylic off of the nail plate. And you don't need a ton of force, because if it's nice and ready, it will just kind of roll off. So there's some spots that are still kind of hard. So what you can do, and what I like to do, is just go ahead and get my E-file turned back on. And instead of using a coarse bit, I will use a fine bit. And I will just kind of lightly, on a lower speed, go over the remaining acrylic that's left on these nails. So gross. It looks so gross. Yeah, so I will just go ahead and switch out my bit to a fine. We'll use the fine bit on a lower speed, since I am working on more of the natural nail and it's pretty thin. So I just want to, let me turn my dust collector on. I just want to make sure that I am not using any force or high speed on my natural nail. So I have my dust collector on a low to medium speed. I have my E-file on a low speed, and I'm using a fine bit just to kind of thin out the remaining acrylic. Or if you don't like a lot of using your E-file, some people don't really like it on their natural nails, or they feel like it's gonna hit their natural nails, you can always kind of file it down a little bit and then go ahead and put it back in the acetone for probably 5 to 10 minutes. And honestly, the rest of this, because there's not very much, will come off really, really pretty easy. So yeah, that's how I remove my nails. After I'm done with this part, I will go ahead and get a cuticle bit. I will clean up my cuticles, wash my hands really good, soap and water, and then I will start my new set.